black box would be located and found by, I gave a date, I think 4th January or something I said. And it happened exactly on 4th January. Dispositors are placed 212, R68, are dispositors placed in conjunction, they are placed in trine, or they are have exchange. It has a meaning, but it has not been. Navamsa technique is unique and give perfect results day to day. And planets, I repeat, planets near to the degrees of ascendant are. I don't mean that other degrees of other planets are not, but all degrees of planet are when planets are degreically approaching. Event happen. Surely happen. It would happen without fail. Maybe very few podcasts are there of astrologer by an astrologer. Very few. Normally, podcasts are between a normal man who has a limited knowledge of astrology with an astrologer. I do not know if I've seen very few, maybe 2 or 3. So, but both are those are surprised. Here, my answer can be very well assessed by you. You are.
We welcome everybody on our channel AstroNavamsa, and today we are here with for the most awaited podcast with Shri Vijay Chawla sir, an algorithmic Vedic astrologer, mentor and philanthropist who has done extensive research on the sutras of Shri C.S. Patel Sahab, on the Nadi and Navamsa sutras. He has even developed an Excel sheet program, which is actually an artificial intelligence program. We can get everything in a click. We would definitely request sir sometime to show to our audience the Excel sheet program which sir has developed. Shri Chawla sir's introduction, we don't need any introduction for Shri Chawla sir. He has given so many astrological work for us, like the most recent one was the COVID-19 forecast. He has predicted everything well in advance, day-wise, and many more such predictions he has made, like the Pulwama attack and the death of Sri Narendra Modi's mother, and so on. So, welcome, sir, and pranam to you. And we bow down our head to Sri C.S. Patel Sahab, who has always been showering his blessing to us. And we are also getting the same blessing from you, Patel Sahab, blessing through you. So we request always to keep showering your blessing on us. Sir.
Yes, that is there, my dear.
So now over to Shri Chawla sir. I am Rakesh Jasrapuria. I am hailing from Kolkata, West Bengal, and I am a businessman by profession. And here is my colleague Vaibhav Somani. Vaibhav ji.
Hi, I'm Vaibhav. I also come from Rajasthan, India. I did my master's in electrical engineering from IIT Bombay, and doing R&D work in many companies right now located in Ireland. Nice to meet you.
This channel was created by us a year ago, and it was all the inspiration by Sri Chawla sir and his blessing. And today we are proud to say that our channel has reached 15,000 views, and all organic views. So all the blessing of sir. So now I would request Sri Chawla sir to speak something about C.S. Patel Sahab and.
Yes.
Sir, over to you.
So we will like to know your journey in astrology, how you started, and that is first thing we would like to listen.
I started my journey around 1989. So it started from my wife was in a school in Rajendra Nagar and they were having classes on weekends. She said, "Why don't you join those classes?" I was very much interested in learning astrology after a friend of mine who was doing Lal Kitab, and he used to give predictions at a quick glance. He said, "This man would no longer have his family, and his family would stop here." And then once I visited his office, he said, "This man sitting in front of you, he'll die within a year." I said, "How he can say that?" So those things, they made me to, I said, there is something there in astrology I must learn. So in 89, I started learning astrology in Salvan school. The classes were on weekends, early morning, say 10 to 12 or like that. So there I started, and then about 2 years, I said I'm like an astrologer, like so many people are there. I must make a dent in this astrology. So how do I go ahead? So I started doing prashna lagna, and God was great. Astrology is a divine science, and God was great to give me his blessings, and I was doing very well in prashna with unique technology, the unique on nakshatra based. So it gave me wonderful results. When its results came correct, then I was more motivated and I said I must go ahead. I remember once there was a Malaysian Airlines aircraft went, then another flight went missing, and one of our colleagues, I remember Mande Sahib is still with us. He said it is a sabotage act. I was sitting in my office after retirement from the of course army organization, but I was in Navy wing. So I said, no, it is not a sabotage. It is a mechanical failure. Earlier, first flight, the black box was not found. Even there are news now, few days back. Yes, black box is about located and it is about to be fished out. For that, second airline has said its black box would be located and found by, I gave a date, I think 4th January or something I said. And it happened exactly on 4th January. It was a news published in newspaper showed for the black box located. So it's a recording and all, and done with the help of Navamsa, they were getting in Navamsa, they were acquiring say own house, and I made that. So that is the swinging board, I would say. Then I started going ahead and not looking back. All many predictions were done and all accurate. There are failures also in my this thing, but failures are for learning. So I used to see what mistake I did in my predicting. Sometimes overconfidence does this thing, and God wants us to be. One should not, and God wants us to be learning, and I should not be blind to learning. So that is the way God gave me a chance. Some people from Japan, interpreter from Japan, they met me, they wanted some horoscopes. So they said that city was Fukuoka. I said, there are 3 Fukuokas in Japan. So the Fukuokas in Japan. I said, I showed her, this is the three Fukuoka. Which Fukuoka you are talking about? So three people in Japan then wanted me to be there in Japan to tell them about astrology. I made about 12 to 13 trips to Japan and doing prashna and other things. So those things that was a greater leap in my life. God was great, and it's all blessings of God that then I got a astrology is definitely a divine science. So many things are there. So that is the journey. And then I came across Patel Sah's book. I in 99, I think the first 98 and it was published. As that time I was posted in Bhopal. So I went through when then there was a plenty of time in office as well as during my traveling from Bhopal, Delhi, weekly, lot of time for reading. And in office there was not much of work. So I used to study. I said there is in Navamsa, the depth, and you get results. Having vast experience of astrology in my on various aspects, partially and other. But this was Navamsa technique is unique and gave perfect results day to day. So all those things with experience and started learning day by day, gradually going step by step. I reached a level that gave me results. Please.
Sir, with our experience, we have seen, even after many years in astrology, people get confused how to start with a chart, from where to start with a chart. So, what would you like to tell our audience regarding looking at the chart? What should be the first thing? What should be the basic thing we should look at a chart?
People, two types of people come to you. People come to us. One is at the time of distress. Why recurring problems are happening with me? No happy people, no man happy with this thing. He will never go to astrology. Why am I happy? Why? What is the thing? Why I'm going very good? He will not come. People in distress would come, or people want to look for future about their children, or children not getting married, or there is a delay in marriage, like that. Or what type of groom or bridegroom one would get, like those things. So people will come to you with problems. So such answers are there in astrology. First and foremost thing is the lagna. Of lagna are very, very important, and planets, I repeat, planets near to the degrees of ascendant are. I don't mean that other degrees of other planets are not, but all degrees of planet are very important in both. And when degrees near to the ascendant degrees are in the same Navamsa, they have their aspects. So they aspect fully on the aspects Saturn 3, 7, 10, and Mars 4, 7, 8, like those all Jupiter 5, 1, 5, 9 aspect. They are fully aspecting those houses and operational. Those things are very, very important. Degrees of all the planets are very important. In India's chart, you can say degrees are 7 degrees, or degrees of ascendant degree 7 degrees. Mars is also 7 degrees. Then Mars is positioned in the second house. So the fourth aspect in the 5th house, 7th aspect in the 8th house, and 8th house put in the 9th house, fully operational because it is degreeically equivalent to ascendant. So those houses are fully controlling, Mars is fully controlling by aspect those houses also. If it is friend's house, if it is enemy's house, it is going to give you effects of those things.
So, sir, it means that whenever a Mars will come to the lagna degrees, it will give the result. Whenever in transit, Mars will come to lagna degrees.
I'm talking of transit. Your
Yes.
question was, okay, what are to be seen at the first instance in by looking at a chart. I was answered with. Now, Patel Sahab has, if you read Patel Sahab repeatedly, not once, 10 times, 20 times, 300 times, 600 times, every time you get another gem from his book. Like it is said, every principle, once you take a food, it is said you chew it 32 times. So all principles of Patel Sahab, why? You mix your saliva and that food, you get sweetness in that food, which after chewing for so much 32 times, and your concentration, you get sweet fragrance of the food you are eating. So similar is the thing. You chew, you work on it, and every principle, think on the principle he said, ponder on that principle, ponder, and you get inside of that rule, why it has been written, and how this can be applied to, how it can be applied universally, except what is written for. Except for what is written for in this book. So that thing in mind can only be achieved if you ponder on that particular rule, why it is written, what is the application other than this. This is, I repeatedly say, going beyond this thing. Patel Sahab in his book, only once or twice he has written for research people. But you do research for this also. But I say you do research on every principle. Whatever Patel Sahab has given is his teaching. I normally say Patel Sahab has written in the book, like a mother feeds a child with the child in her lap and feeds with spoon or with milk or whatever. So Patel Sahab has written book like that he is feeding to all his students who is sincere, who wants to enjoy the book. They should be sincere in reading and chewing it 32 times and pondering on whatever he has written.
Yes,
So
I
one more
completely agree
thing,
with you.
we have also seen that you have always been emphasizing on looking at the D1 chart and also the Navamsa chart to judge the strength of a planet, or rather the promise in a chart. So basically, most astrologers, the amateur astrologers like us, and also those who are experienced astrologers. So we fail to see the promise in a chart. But you have made it so simple through Navamsa that by looking at the Navamsa chart and the position in the D1 chart, one can easily say that whether a marriage is promised or not, a good career ahead is promised or not. So I would like to request you to kindly guide our audience on this, please.
Wonderful, wonderful. Everybody, even astrologers, those who have their own channels, they ask. Simplest way is Patel Sahab has written in his Dispositors, in his chapter, I think 6th or 7th chapter, Dispositors in astrology. And he has classified a table of planet in Rashi chart, Dispositor of planet in Rashi chart, and Dispositor in Navamsa chart, and how they are placed. But he has not gone beyond this. He has quoted from CKD Chandrakala Nadi a particular stanza of Chandrakala Nadi, and that was applicable only to Cancer Lagna. But further, he has made it applicable to all this thing. But when he made a table and placement of dispositors in Rashi chart, he made. Then he stopped. He didn't write anything further. But it has a meaning. Once you say कि dispositors are placed 212 or 6-8 are dispositors placed in conjunction, they are placed in trine, or they are have exchange. It has a meaning, but it has not been elaborated, if I'm not wrong. Maybe if this has a meaning, the things are easy to get in this world, or things are difficult to get in this world. This has not. This is our own further. I said by chewing, by pondering over this. Why this has been written? What is the meaning of this? So you can end by experience. You can say, and by various examples, by various horoscope of people, we can say this rule is very, very correct. And it's simple. So when I started making a program on Patel Saab's teaching, it gave me learning. I never knew. I've never learned computer Excel sheet or anywhere. It's own develop. It's God blessing. Patel Saab's blessing, I would say, not my own. I am nothing. So when I didn't know how it went progressing, and learning process as well as once all the principles written by Patel Saab in his gems of astrology, I would not use Navamsa, gems of astrology. So learning became easy once I started making the program. And I didn't know how it will progress that smooth. Maybe I have taken 2 years or more, even now we are doing further advancement in this. Gain blessings of Patel Saab, because he is in our hearts. And I'm myself surprised how it has come up. So those things built in a chart, it's a very easy thing. The placement of Rashi, Dispositor, Navamsa, Dispositor, see and see how beautifully it works.
Yes, sir. Very true, sir.
And
sir,
one second, Rakesh ji. Maybe very few podcasts are there of astrologer by an astrologer. Very few. Normally, podcasts are between a normal man who has a limited knowledge of astrology with an astrologer. I do not know if I've seen very few, maybe 2 or 3. So, but both are those are surprised. Here, my answer can be very well assessed by you. You are a champion. Both are champions, and you did very well in those predicting the results of a cricket match. Very well. Maybe you are 80% correct. I'm surprised you in such a short time you made such a progress. So with principles, applying principles on different areas other than it is written in the book, it's a great advantage. Astrology shows that those principles are whatever is written for natal, for life's events, are applicable in other areas of life. Seeing that. Am I right?
all your blessings, sir. All your blessings.
All the thing. So one feedback about we learn astrology from Shri Chawla sir self, and we would like to take one example, because sir was talking about his Excel sheet. He created a program. We call sir as AI man. Like his Excel sheet will predict with the line, like in this particular year, so and so thing will come. Just you need to enter the year number and it will come. So sir, we were talking to one of our colleague maybe she shared her child's horoscope, and so we entered maybe I forgetting maybe 28th or 29th year. Um, you will amaze, sir. It was showing two results with two dates. Even date was also printed. It was maybe the answer. So one thing was positive and one thing was negative. And so we asked in so and so that what is happened. Let's say one date was in March and one was in December. So she agreed on March. I think she got married, and in around October, November, she got an accident. And both were very clearly written, like you, because maybe it was Jupiter progressing over Lagna or Bhrigubindu. But both the prediction were date wise correct without anything. We just enter the year and the dates were there with the lines. So maybe if time permit, we will maybe at the end we will like to discuss that example and for everyone.
That is the achievement. So it's not my this thing. It's all Patel Sahab. Not it is only Patel Sahab in me. They drove me to like these Tesla cars are now AI driven. So in me, Patel Sahab is driving my car, and then he writes in Saturn transit progression, progression of Saturn and progression of Jupiter are like that. He said it would surely happen. It would happen without fail. Such with this thing accuracy he writes. So that is the thing motivated me to go ahead with the program, and then we narrowed it down to a day and even hours. We can do that.
Yes, sir, I think
Yes.
you have multiple times shared few example with us where you can, sir has sir can say which particular day will event will happen. Even it will not happen one day before, one day after. And it is based on all the progression techniques what sir has developed beyond the sutras given by C.S. Patel sir.
And sir, you have been extensively, you have given a new name to the Navamsa Dispositor. You have been calling it NARAD. So this is really something very unique, and this name has been given by you. So I would like to I would request you to tell throw some light to our audience on the importance of NARAD.
Narad, I have taken it from our epic. Narad is a man who's I've done a video on Narad also. So Narad is a man who foretells, comes, and he is a conveyor. Like our astrology moon is there, he's a postman. He said, this is happening, this is going to happen. Narad with this, those things clasps, he comes and said, Narayan, Narayan. I said, I must fit in astrology. So, and we were talking of Navash Dispositor. So I said to Narad, I said, Namash acquired Rashi Dispositor. N for Navash acquired A, R for Rashi, R-A Rashi, and this for Narad. It becomes Narad. And it is amazing. It's amazing. It is fits in the character of Narad and Navash. Patel Sahab's Navash Dispositor. I've given a new name. Rather, divine has suggested me, and it is not my, I would not say it is my, this thing. It's divine has invoked in me, I should give Narad. So something should be unique so that the people remember even after I die that Narad, yes, Narad. Huh?
So sir, how NARAD becomes important?
Patel book says, when the Lord of 64th Navamsa visits such and such place, something would happen, bad things happen. If Lord of 64th Navamsa occupies 6th, 8th, or 12th house where a malefic is already present, the man would die a tragic death, like hanging on by this thing. So all those things, it's a Narad. He is saying Narad, date of death, Narad, transit of moon over this thing. So all those speak of Navash Dispositor. There is one Rashi and there's Lord. Lord of 64th Navamsa. Lord of So all those things, they speak of dispositor and Lord of Dispositor. So those they act, and they are very, very clearly written in Patel Sahab's book. To you, in astrology, logic is there. Logic. And everything is based on logic. Whatever I explain, whatever I say, it should fit in your mind based on logic. Or there should be a validation of that rule. Patel Sahab has given various examples of Indira Gandhi, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. All those things died when it is built in their chart, and they died their tragic death, one by hanging. Sorry, like those things. So, Lord of Narad. So Narad transit, and he writes also, when on 64th month, any Lord of malefic planets visits those sensitive points. Sorry, visit those sensitive points, something bad would happen. And when Jupiter transits sensitive points, there is a midpoint theory given by Patel Sahab, mid-cast theory. So all those things they speak of when planets visit on the mid-cast Navamsa occupied by a particular lord in Navamsa, say 7th house, take a chart, 7th house is there. Navamsa occupied by 7th house, Navamsa. And that he speaks of Navamsa means 3 degrees 20 minutes. It's so specific. When a benefic planet transit over this, some good thing would happen. And when a malefic planet transits that point, something malefic would happen. It will happen, sure. You will see when a person comes to you in trouble, you don't see anything. Look on various where malefics are transiting. If it is on base chart, basic chart, birth chart, a malefic is transiting over a malefic, double disaster. Where malefic is transiting on 2 malefic planets in your chart, disaster. So all such things would happen. And then see when it will pass, degreically wise, or Navamsa, because Saturn is a slow planet, takes about 60 days to 3 months. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow. Normally, average, it is given. So all those things, see that when planet passes over, and impact of malefic planet lessens when it degreically transit over the degrees of that thing. And when it's about to, this thing, things flare up, and they things, you are taken, something is going to happen or something happens. The fear is there. You are having negative thoughts, and then things happen. So all the things, gloom, Saturn brings gloom to a person earlier when it is nearing those degrees of the planet. Sorry.
Sir, you shared one or maybe small research you did, and basically about it was about moon, like maybe, yeah, moon will cross Rahu Ketu once or twice in a month, correct? You want to share that thing with the audience?
Yes. I remember one of my students, he said, I taught same thing what you're talking, transit of moon, daily transit of moon, daily moon, near your Rahu or Ketu degrees. It will happen once in a month, twice a month on Ketu, once a month on Rahu. On Rahu, you do not know what a fox you will be doing. What has happened? It has happened to me. Why I made a mistake? One of my students, he called me in the morning. I said, "Oh, sir, I want to tell you a good news and bad news. I said, what happened? He said, I was first, I should be telling you good news. He's in a American bank. So he said, I was giving a presentation. I do not know what happened to me. I repeatedly projected a wrong sheet, which I had earlier given, and I didn't know what has happened. After 5 minutes, I said, what has happened? Why I did a mistake? Once I am very well prepared for this thing, then I saw my moon was going over the Rahu degrees in this thing. The moment it crossed over, I was very fine. And I came to know my mistake. And then, so it happens with everybody. Transit moon over your Rahu degrees. Natal. Transit moon over your Rahu degrees. And Rahu degrees, transit Rahu degrees over your moon degrees. They definitely become, they bring results. You do not. Who wants to do accident? It happens. Sometimes you fail to push a brake. Sometimes somebody comes and you do not know. You look here and there, somebody, you hit somebody. So it happens when Rahu moon. You will see it many times. You will see it. Other reasons can be also. It is a mistake. Unknowing mistake is Rahu moon.
Thanks, sir.
I hope I'm clear. If you
Yes.
understand, people will definitely understand.
No, sir, we also applied this. It works very well. Sir, now maybe Rakesh, one question coming in
Yes.
my mind for a very, very important question for all the audience also. Sir, you have always basically given importance to degrees, even in transit. Now, there are two cases. Let's say, for example, somebody's moon is 2 degree, and there are two examples. Let's say in transit Rahu at 3 degree in same Navamsa, and after 1 month or 2 months it is 1 degree in. What is the difference between these two? So when Rahu is 3 degree, so what in my example I'm saying moon is 2 degree in Navamsa, and in transit Rahu also coming same Navamsa at 3 degree first, and after 2 months it will be almost when it is leaving, let's say 1 degree. What are the two difference that particular person will see?
This you see when it is answer is very well given in those prashna lagna. When two planets are coming near, prashna lagna by Gayatri Devi, I read very early in 90s. When two planets are degreically approaching, event happen. And when they are departing, they are going away. Without meeting, they are going away. That event would not, it will come closer, but event will not happen. So from that clue in mind, when Rahu degreically comes near the moon, when it is coming near the moon, a fear, your mind automatically, moon is mind. Automatically, if there is a fear in the mind, yes, it is something is going to happen or something, your mind stops thinking positively, or your mind stop visualizing clearly things. You make mistakes. Sometimes you sit on your chair, you solving a problem, or you are adding a total. Every time you are making the same mistake. Forget for 5 minutes, 7, go for a walk, come after 10 minutes, start doing it. You will see that thing. You would know that you were making a mistake here. Because at that particular position, Rahu moon or something in been 81 or somewhere, they are coming together and they are not allowing you to work. You are not able to judge your mistake. Once that period is over, once they have started departing, separating movement. One is separating, one is approaching movement.
Approaching.
So approaching movement, there things becomes difficult, and I tell you, all our things, Bhrigu Sahita or other things, Nadi, it is written. They were doing prediction on basis of this. On a particular time, they will come together, or if Rahu is away from the degrees of a particular planet, say moon, faster planet. So Rahu is going backwards, is a reverse motion, and moon is progressing ahead. So those will never meet in life. Rahu would move away and moon would be going ahead. So both are in a position opposite each other. They are separating position. If moon degrees are lesser than Rahu or Saturn degrees, they are in approaching degrees. They would definitely affect your life. So those things, approaching, and everything can be set for transiting a planet. Similarly, in your horoscope also, if two planets are there, if they have approaching degree with Saturn, with Rahu, this thing, they would definitely for sure show results. If they are in a separating mode, will never give you effects of those things in your horoscope, in your life.
Yes, sir. Completely agree, sir.
Yes, sir. I agree, sir.
Rakesh ji, actually, you have one example with what sir said. If you want to just briefly tell about. So one example where one of your relative, where in prashna basically either Mars or Saturn was moving in
Yes,
retrograde,
yes.
and it didn't touch the degree and come back. Just share one example. It will be very clear to everyone.
It so happened once that my mother-in-law was very seriously ill, and that time Saturn was in 60. I mean, transiting on the degrees of Mars. It was approaching the degrees of Mars
In retrograde motion.
in retrograde motion. But actually, Mars was 6 degrees 36 minutes, and Saturn didn't touch that degree, and the motion becomes direct. So as soon as Saturn became direct, she recovered and came out of the situation. And we were apprehending that, and it so happened. So wonderful technique, sir. And we have always been applying this sutras of Patel Saab, and we are very much, we can say everything with conviction that such and such things will happen, provided if we do not miss out on something else. After all, we are also human. So we have always seen that, sir.
Exactly.
And sir,